Sometimes, one moment changes everything. It's not just a performance, not just a song, but a glimpse into something real. Tonight, V opened his heart in front of millions. His words were raw, emotional, and painfully honest, but what happened next, when Jungkook heard those words, left everyone speechless. Cut to slow-motion clips of Jungkook lowering his head, his lips pressed together, eyes glistening. Narrator. Fans could feel it, the emotion, the history, the bond that runs deeper than music. And as V spoke, it wasn't just a message to the crowd, it was something meant for Jungkook. The screen cuts to black. A heartbeat sound plays. Narrator. This is the moment that shook the entire fandom. The lights dimmed across the arena. The roar of the crowd faded into a wave of anticipation. V stood at the center, mic in hand, the spotlight casting a soft golden glow on his face. He hesitated for a moment, his chest rising and falling slowly, as if gathering courage. Sometimes he began softly, his voice trembling slightly. We forget to tell the people we love how much they mean to us. The audience fell completely silent. Not a single scream, not a single cheer. Just stillness. The camera panned to Jungkook, standing at the edge of the stage, eyes locked on V. There was something in his gaze. Pride, pain, confusion, and an emotion too deep to name. Narrator. In that moment, ARMY could see the invisible thread between them, the connection built through years of laughter, struggle, and silent understanding. V continued. His words were calm, but heavy, like every syllable carried a hidden memory. I've had times, he said, his voice cracking, when I felt alone, even surrounded by people. But someone always reminded me I wasn't. The camera zoomed in. Jungkook's eyes were glistening. His jaw clenched slightly. He blinked fast, as if holding something back. Narrator. It wasn't the first time V spoke about friendship, but this time, it felt different, because Jungkook knew these words were for him. As V's voice broke slightly, the crowd gasped. A single tear rolled down his cheek. He smiled faintly and looked in Jungkook's direction. Thank you for always being there, even when I couldn't say it. The arena erupted. Fans screamed, cried, shouted both their names, but Jungkook stood frozen. He pressed his hand against his chest and bowed his head. His lips moved, but no sound came out. Camera shows Jungkook whispering something silently. Fans would later speculate it was, "Me too." Narrator. For a split second, millions saw a side of Jungkook rarely shown. Vulnerable, emotional, real. He wasn't the performer anymore. He was the friend, the brother, the boy who grew up beside V. To understand that moment, you have to remember where it all began. Clips of young BTS flash across the screen. 2013 dorm life, practice rooms, chaotic laughter, sleepless nights. Jungkook, the youngest, always quiet but observant. V, the mood maker, always smiling but often misunderstood. They were opposites, yet somehow, they found balance in each other. Narrator. Through every tour, every award, every tear backstage, V and Jungkook carried an unspoken bond. One that words could never quite capture. Cut to clips of them joking during rehearsals, comforting each other in old interviews, exchanging glances on stage. V once said, Jungkook's like my little brother, but sometimes he feels more like my mirror. And Jungkook once said, when Tae smiles, it makes me forget everything else. The flashbacks fade, replaced by the trembling image of Jungkook still staring at V. The concert lights flicker. The crowd chants both their names, Taehyung, Jungkook. As if trying to hold them together through sound, Jungkook takes a step forward. He lifts the mic, his voice barely above a whisper, Hyung, thank you. It was just 2 words, but the tone carried years of emotion. V smiled through tears, and in that smile, Jungkook broke. He turned slightly away, wiping his eyes, shoulders trembling. Fans cry in the crowd. Narrator. No script. No performance. Just 2 souls, standing under the lights, stripped of every layer of fame. This was not BTS on stage. This was family. Within minutes, clips of the moment went viral. Hashtag Jungkook tears and hashtag the emotional message trended globally. Armies around the world flooded timelines with reactions, crying emojis, heartfelt captions, and endless support. Narrator. People weren't just watching a concert. They were witnessing love, the kind that exists between brothers, between hearts that have walked the same road. Comment sections filled with words like, "I've never seen Jungkook cry like that. This is why BTS is different. Their bond is real." These words hit harder than any song tonight. But behind the viral moment, there was something deeper. Because when the lights went out that night and the cameras stopped rolling, the story didn't end there. Would you like me to continue with showing the private backstage aftermath, Jungkook's inner emotions, and V's personal reflection after the concert? It will continue the same cinematic YouTube storytelling tone, soft ambient sound. The roar of the concert fades into quiet backstage echoes, footsteps, distant chatter, and the hum of equipment being packed away. Narrator, low, emotional tone. When the music stopped and the curtain fell, the noise of the crowd was replaced by silence. The kind of silence that only happens after something real, something unforgettable. Jungkook walked backstage with his head slightly lowered. The light makeup on his face was streaked, not from sweat, but from tears he didn't bother to hide. He greeted the staff politely, bowed to the team. But his smile didn't reach his eyes. He found a quiet corner near the dressing area, sat down, and took a deep breath. The sound of fans still chanting outside echoed faintly, "Jungkook. V. Jungkook. V." Narrator. Even surrounded by thousands of voices, Jungkook felt alone with his thoughts. He replayed every word V had said, each one hitting him harder the more he thought about it. V's voice echoed in his memory. "Thank you for always being there, even when I couldn't say it." Jungkook closed his eyes. For a moment, he wasn't the superstar. He was just Jungkook, the boy who once looked up to Kim Taehyung as his anchor, his comfort, his friend. Soft piano starts playing. Visuals shift to a memory, years earlier, in a small studio late at night. V sat on the floor, strumming a guitar softly, while Jungkook lay nearby, half asleep from exhaustion. "Someday," V said quietly, "when people know who we are, promise me we won't lose this, the way we care about each other." Jungkook opened one eye and smiled. "Hyung, I'll never let that happen." They laughed, tired but happy. Back then, they had nothing but dreams and each other. Narrator. It was a promise made in youth, but remembered in tears. Back in the present, the dressing room door opened. V walked in slowly, still holding the mic he forgot to put down. His eyes were red, but he smiled when he saw Jungkook sitting quietly. "Hey," he said softly. Jungkook looked up. "Hyung." There was no need for more words. V placed a hand on Jungkook's shoulder, and for a moment, they just sat there in silence. Narrator. Two hearts, too full for words. In the quiet hum of backstage chaos, they found peace in each other's presence. V finally spoke. "I meant every word out there." Jungkook's eyes watered again. He nodded. "I know." The camera captures their reflection in the dressing room mirror, two figures, one comforting the other, both illuminated by soft golden light. Unknown to them, a behind-the-scenes camera was still rolling quietly in the corner. Later, this unseen footage would surface in a documentary, showing V and Jungkook's silent exchange after the show. Fans would call it the moment that healed millions. Narrator. It wasn't about fame or performance or image. It was about something that the world rarely gets to see, genuine love between brothers who grew up together through storms. V handed Jungkook a bottle of water and said with a grin, "Next time, don't cry on stage before me. You'll make me look weak." Jungkook laughed through his tears. "You started it first, Hyung." They both laughed quietly, a soft, tired laugh that said more than any words could. Later that night, V sat alone in his hotel room. The city lights of Seoul glittered outside his window. He scrolled through his phone. Watching clips of the concert already flooding social media. He saw Jungkook's face, the tears, the emotion, the love. He sighed deeply, smiling to himself. "People think we're strong because we're idols," he murmured. "But sometimes, it's each other that keeps us standing." He set his phone down, leaned back, and whispered quietly, Thank you, Jungkook. As the night deepened, millions slept still thinking about that moment. But for V and Jungkook, it wasn't